Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ylands. So, in this episode we're going to pick up slightly after where we left off last time. Because, well, I didn't want to continue to do stuff throughout the night. Figured that was maybe a bit counterproductive because you couldn't really see what was going on, and I was kind of trapped at camp. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on my journey up the tech tree. And to do that, I kind of need to do some more exploring. I need, let's see, quick look at the inventory. Never run across that before, not on purpose anyway. Let's see. Got a lot of good stuff. Not enough good stuff to, say, set up camp anywhere, but good stuff nonetheless. If I don't find a pre-built structure around here somewhere soon... Oh, that was weird. Got stuck. Yeah, like I was saying, if I don't find a pre-built structure around here sometime soon, which it happens a lot, like every island I've been on so far has had pre-built structures. Ooh. Oysters, yes. So if you don't know why I'm excited about oysters, it's because later on I can build a fishing pole, and that's what it takes to make a baited fishing pole. What is this? This is copper. Ooh, that's neat. Do I pick it up now or do I come back later? I think I'm going to come back later. Ooh, cotton. Cotton is going to be a big deal later on, like I was talking about earlier. It's going to help me continue what I'm building. Because I want to build a boat. I'm not hurting for flint, but having a good bit of flint starting out is a big deal. Because I want to be able to build a crossbow and the ammo for it. And the ammo for it requires flint. Boom. A lot of danger Katie's over here. Gotta make sure I don't get close enough to wake him up. Good thing about cats, they like to sleep all night. Fortunately, that means they like to hunt me at night. Don't know what that is. Sulfur? See what that is. Gold ore. Wow. This island has got some really neat stuff on it. There's another deposit of something a bit further up the hill, and if that is clay like I think is... Ooh, Ylands. If that's clay like I think it is, that's going to make all the difference in the world. That's clay, yes! So... clay is your gateway to higher tier stuff early on. Because with clay you can build a smelter. With the smelter you can start building other like metal things. Like I haven't found iron yet. But when I get iron, that's how I'll be able to smelt it. And I'm assuming that copper is very similar to that. Because this is the first time I've ever found copper too. Oh yeah. A lot of times you'll find these small veins and they just continue. I think I need about 200 clay to be happy. Those of you who have played Minecraft before realize how terrible of a decision this is, digging straight down. Actually, let's get rid of this plant here. Glue sticks. Well, it's not going to let me pick that one up. So I'm going to work on this clay deposit for just a minute. and see where it takes me. See, how much do I have so far? I have almost 100. So on the other islands I've been on so far, usually around clay there's also marble. Haven't run into any of that just yet down here. But that's a good thing, because I haven't really figured out what marble is good for yet. And that's not to say marble isn't good for anything, I don't know what it's good for yet. I think I'll be able to climb out. See how much clay do we have? We've got about 150. Keep going a little bit longer. If I go too deep, sounds get really echoey. That's probably good. Where did that... Yeah, sometimes it decides to pile up on the outside of your hole. Cotton... The more cotton we get now, the easier it'll be later. And I'm going to go over what exactly to do with it to make the most out of it. And there's some kind of structure. Go check it out. I'm going to take a winding path, getting as much of this cotton as I can on the way. Ooh, feathers. Boom, feathers. So, feathers are used in the crossbow bolts and the arrows. Also need to pick up some resin, which I should be able to find if I take down a tree. I may actually already have some. Yes, I already have some resin. Let's see, can I make a crossbow yet? I am short poles, and poles are not hard to make. I usually craft quite a few of them. Crossbow. No particular reason. I like the crossbow pistol. And I need to make some bolts. And I want to go ahead and drag that down into my hotbar. Wait, in case I run into a danger kitty, I have got some kind of way to defend myself. Don't know what that is. It's at 43. I ask because there's a horse. If I feed this horse enough, it will become my friend. And it takes several feedings to become friendly. And you can't stop when he becomes friendly, because then he'll still kick you off every now and then. See, there we go, friendly. As soon as he's fully tamed, then you can hop on him and ride, be safe, and there will be a dialogue that comes up that lets me name him. Let's see, what do we want to call him? Mr. Ed. Mr. Ed. And I can call upon him for help if and when I need to. Should be able to, yep, I can still pick stuff up. That's a neat dragon tattoo. Dragon sculpture. I don't know why I said tattoo. No idea. Sometimes I'm just weird like that. Saying things without meaning it. Oh. Looks like iron up there. Yeah, and the horse does get kind of buggy. especially in multiplayer, weird stuff happens. Something I've noticed is you can pick up wood basically infinitely. So if you're low on wood for your fires, good way to get it. And it's a good way to, kind of a good way to transport it too. Because you don't want to be carrying around logs and breaking them down for fire purposes. And grabbing these seeds is a big deal. Yeah, that looks like iron. I want to get as much of this as I can hold, because now I've got the clay, I can actually build the stuff to process it into something useful. And probably the most useful thing I can build as soon as I've got that is a saw. Saws let you cut down trees a bit faster. It lets you make planks, and there's a wooden beam that you can create. Now, the wooden beam may not sound all that interesting, but it allows you to build certain kinds of storage, squared off logs, stuff like that. Just cool building stuff and other useful buildings. How much iron do we have? We've got 100 iron ore. That's getting close to about what we need to continue. Yeah, I've been doing pretty good finding these mines. Oh, and my pick is broken. So I think that's where I'm going to call the digging for today. And I have lost my horse. Come on back. There we go. Sometimes you just have to look away, and then it'll come back. Let's see. Oh, danger kitty. Scary danger kitty. But now we can outrun you. Ha! On foot, you can do some outrunning, especially if you are near water. They don't like to swim. But they'll still catch up to you and get a hit in every now and then, just like the wolf will. And I just want to finish my loop around the island until I get back to base. Said I haven't touched those magical plants yet to figure out what exactly they do, but it's something that I want to do. There's so much copper around. If I had a way to dig, I would definitely be carrying some back to the base right now. Now watching this horse move may be a little bit difficult for some of you, because it does turn so quick. But it's one of those things you just kind of got to learn to deal with. So it's kind of like where we left off. And it may be difficult to find where we left off. Yeah, that's it. We are about where we left off last time. Maybe a little bit difficult to find home base again because that bonfire that we started has burned out. But I think right here would be a good place to set up camp. I like being right here by the water because we are eventually going to start fishing, and that's going to make all the difference in the world on food production. Being able to just go over there and grab some stuff, and we got food for the next day or two. Huge difference. And I do not care for these seashells. As far as I can tell, all they're good for is for coloring things. I'm not interested. Let's see, we need to break some sea urchins, so we've got some needles. Good. Let's see, we need that. And if I put it too close to the water, it will start putting itself out. Also need a kiln. And slight overlap. Not a big deal. Next, we're going to do the blacksmith's forge, but we need to build the other things first. I do need a spinning wheel, which means I need some rope. And I need a weaving loom. Spinning wheel. And a weaving loom. And it's short on some poles. I wasn't short on poles. There we go, weaving loom. Boom. Okay. Got all of those. And I'm gonna need a fire. Use some wooden pieces. Have a nice fire. And I think... yeah, we're gonna go ahead and fill these guys up with some fuel. Those should be good to go. I have a flint lighter. It does not look like I've got a flint lighter. So, flint lighter. Boom. Inventory. Boom. And we can light you up. And we are making iron. We are now part of the Iron Age. Over here, we could use a little bit of charcoal. We do not need much. But let's go ahead and start chopping down some trees. Whoa. Pick up a palm tree seed straight from them? Sweet. Oh, that took a lot of work. Those palm tree seeds should be coconuts. I wonder if that shows up as something I can eat. Don't know. How much cotton do we have? We have a good bit of cotton. So I was telling you I was going to tell you what you needed to do with cotton, flax, stuff like that. There's a couple of different kinds of plants that work for producing cloth. So when you get them, you want to break them because they give you 3 seeds apiece, and it takes about 2 in-game days for them to grow to full grown. Okay? So I'm going to take my cotton seeds, and I'm going to plant them in groups of 20. And this takes some time, so just bear with me. That's 1 stack. Two stacks. Go for 3rd. And I've only got a few more than the 20 I want to put into a stack, so I'm just going to go ahead and put them all in. Okay, and make sure not to punch them when you're done, and trust me when I say that is way harder than it sounds. So let's see if we can light our campfire and see if we can cook something. Roasted mushroom and a bunch of roasted. Granted, that's not the best food ever, but it will keep us going. Just wish that I had, I guess, more oysters. Okay, do I have any oysters? I have 2. Go ahead and break those. And I do not need the oyster shells, so goodbye. Dirt, also not something that I really need, so get rid of that too. You have 2 oyster meat, and you're supposed to get about 2 apiece. Oh, it is so tough. Here's an oyster. I know you guys probably see next to nothing on here. Let's see about getting a bonfire up and go. It sometimes feels like a waste because it takes logs to create, but if you gotta see, you gotta see. There we go. I can see so much better now. No, not that shell. I want the oyster. How many do we have now? Sea urchin meat I haven't found a use for. I don't know what it's good for. Got 4 oysters. We've got 6 oyster meat. Fishing rod with bait. Craft that. Where'd she go? And I want to go ahead and put that in my hot bar. And I'm going to worry about some food here in just a second. That should be done. All. And I got to put stuff in the inventory. Can't really use a bar of metal in everyday life. Not yet, anyway. It takes me a little bit of time to eat. Okay, so let's get that fishing rod out and catch us some dinner. Yeah, it's not a 100% success rate, but it's better than going and hunting for all kinds of fruit and stuff when I've got to fight the danger kitties. Yes. This is so much better than trying to hunt down a goat or boar or whatever. So much easier. That said, I don't think it gives you as much health either, or as much food. And I find if you move around a little bit, your luck does generally improve. Well, honestly, that's enough to get us up and rolling again. I'll worry about getting some more fish here in just a minute as I finish this. And I actually need more cotton if I'm going to build anything. Oh, what was it? Oh, there's a magical plant back there. Stop. It's just too dark to go out there and explore. I think I'm going to spend most of the night cooking metal and cooking fish. Okay, so we have spent the night smelting all kinds of iron and catching all kinds of fish. We should be pretty full on both. Something that's important to note is you want to keep feeding your bonfire, because it's a lot cheaper to feed a bonfire than it is to grow a new, well, build a new one. And something I forgot to mention earlier today is like these tall rainforest seeds. Like, you can plant about 10 of these trees in one spot and they'll do just fine. It gets a little bit confusing when they come down, but hey, that's free wood and it's near you, so you don't have to go out and hunt for it. And I'm not gonna lie, I did make a little bit of a mistake with those seeds for the cotton. I do absolutely need some sewing stuff to get to the next level, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go find some real quick and do that. To do that, I need to go get, oh, not a yellow shell, dang it. Seashells, oh, that's resin, oops. I do not need the oyster shells. and I also do not need yellow seashells. Let's call up our mount. There you are, Mr. A. And let's go see if we can find some more cotton, because we need a couple of dozen. Yeah, no, I just missed one, but one's not gonna change it. Cotton. There we go. And this game is still early access. Yes, I realize it's not exactly an excuse, but the crafting is just, it's not very good yet. Oh, I did not mean to pick up that echinacea. Yeah, crafting's not very good. It doesn't give you a good idea of what you need to do the next thing. And it's governed by what you have in your inventory, not what you've researched. So there is no looking up recipes. You just have to find the right stuff and you know how to make stuff. That said, some things like nails and iron stuff, you're not just gonna have those in your inventory. But it means if you start playing with a friend who has, progressed through, it's not hard to catch back up to them, which is something that I like. I just dislike not being able to look up recipes. And in its current state, there's really not much out there for help on that either. So you can't just go to the wiki and know. Because the wiki, it's good, but it's not that good. And if you'd like to, I would highly encourage you to take some time and spend it improving the wiki. I know I use it, I know a lot of other people use it. Everybody else is just begging for that information. Of course. Swap out stuff, and the horse just walks off into it. That's weird. Let's see, how's this doing? Doesn't say. Burning. Everything is fine. I like to see blazing, but you don't always see that. Thorns. Give it a minute to go through there, and you're going to want to build an anvil. Oh, I need a hammer. Would it help if I spelled it right? I need some rope. Hammer, build a hammer. Now that I've got a hammer, ooh, I can make. I didn't realize I could make these things quite yet. Just have to have the metal, you don't have to have the blacksmith thing. Anvil. Yep, we got an anvil, and then we need either a good bit of cloth, which we do not yet have, or we need, what is it? We need leather. That's it, leather. Okay. My crafting. Let's see, need a bellows. Sewing kit is definitely needed. Don't quite have enough stuff for the bellows. We need a sewing kit and like 3 leather, or a lot more cotton to make cloth. I think I can get away with it by just making some cloth. Cannot do cloth yet. Don't have enough. But we've got about one more in-game day until we have a ton of cotton. Go look for some more cotton. Actually, I want to make a repair kit and then another hammer. Because the repair kit consumes the hammer, and if I want to, say, fix my pick down here, I just have to go find my pick and repair. I now have not fully fixed, but a fixed hammer. Not hammer, pick. Sorry. Love how fast this horse is. It's so much faster than just regular walking, and they're easy to get to. I haven't found an island without them. I feel a lot more comfortable running around like this because I actually have food now. See an iron and other good stuff, but what I really need is the cotton. Really want to know what I can do with that copper. We'll get to that in another episode. Unless we get hung up on a tree, that cat can't do anything to us. And I think being able to build the bellows with just cotton or whatever, just cloth, is a huge deal. Because especially on islands like this where things that aren't these giant cats are hard to find. Yes, and you can in fact scare them off if you just hit near them. No idea why my horse is following me so far. Oh, no. Just want to pick some cotton. I'll come back when I need you. Lots of cotton. All good stuff. It takes 3 to make some yarn, and then like 3 yarn to make some cloth. You need 9. No. 9 to make 1 cloth. And how many did we have? We have 16. We need about another 10. Yeah, I know a lot of other YouTubers that are really good with math, like right off the top of their heads. I am not that. I have never been that, and I probably won't ever be that. So don't get your hopes up. I am working on it, but it's not something I've ever really had an aptitude for. Which has been fine. It hasn't been great, but it hasn't been awful. Getting the game to pick up what you want it to pick up is not exactly the easiest. How many do we have? We got 28. That's probably good enough. There's cotton. Or cotton. That wasn't cotton. And that's probably going to be our last cotton. Where'd the horse go? As soon as you lose vision of him, he likes to disappear. Let's go ahead and get back to base so we don't waste all that fuel. And make sure that our bonfire's still going. Because we are fueling the smelter, and I think the kiln is running too. Yeah. Don't want to waste it. Want to keep that running as efficient as possible. Man, those things are everywhere. I need to build up a nice, safe house. And it was odd, because I've been all the way across this place, and I've not yet seen a house. If you watch the stream, you'll notice that we had a house pretty quick. It just took Stub running around trying to find it. found one. And in the second stream, it was more of the same because it was exactly the same island. This one is 100% new. Oh hey, a shark. Sharks aren't hard to deal with if you know how to deal with them. Especially if you're near shore. They've got a bad habit of trying to beach themselves, and when they beach themselves, you just take them out with an axe. There you go. Some of our cotton is growing up. You know, I don't think I've ever noticed that cotton seedlings are yellow. Oh. Or that coming along. It stays going, so I don't have to build a whole nother one. Same thing with the campfire. Spinning wheel. Let's make all 11. And the weaving loom is still kind of short on it. But we'll be okay. We will definitely be okay. It's also time to eat us a couple of fish. There we go. Now I'm not hungry anymore. And for a while there, it's just this balance of going back and forth between the crafting stations to make sure that you're being as efficient with your time as possible. One of the things that I want to build here real soon is a press. It feels kind of unnecessary, to be perfectly honest, because there's only one thing that I ever make with the press, and that is paper. Now, that doesn't sound all that interesting, but why am I short a hammer? I don't know, maybe I want to put that on the backside since this is not water sensitive. And I'm going to cook wood pulp. And let's check on our spinning stuff. Pretty sure 3 is all that we needed. Come on, wood pulp. 40 seconds. Dang it. Melting, 6 seconds left. I can deal with that. I'm almost out of iron to process, which is a good thing. 20 seconds here. 20 seconds there. And 25 seconds. So they're all going to finish at about the same time. But I think the wood pulp is going to finish first, and then I can make the other runes. I'm going to craft my blank paper sheet. That's going to take a whole minute, which stinks, but it could be worse. It really could. Those. Spinning loom. Take all of those. And I'm looking for a bellows. There we go. A bellows. 3 cloth, 1 sewing kit. I've made my bellows. Go back to here. And we're looking at, where's that oddly square thing? Blacksmith forge. Construct. Yes, please. Now, I want to leave a little bit of space there because I'm thinking about putting in another smelter. Nails. Huge deal. Nails are a huge, huge deal. So are more durable tools. And the iron saw. Gotta have one of those. Gotta say, I want to go ahead and do one of everything and then fill in the rest with nails because they come in so darn handy. See how the press is doing. Press is done. Put that. Make sure that's... Sometimes it forgets what's in your inventory and you have to go to your inventory tab and come back for it to properly register. There. Nothing there. We are good. Time for a map. Why is there... Oh, I know why there's not a map. Because I have forgotten a very important thing and I forgot to light the kiln. So the kiln is making some charcoal for me. I think charcoal or ash will work. But what we're looking for is the ability to draw on a map. And for that you need some kind of needle, the charcoal or ash, and then the paper. So while I wait, I'm going to process a tree. For each tree I knock down, I get at least 3 seeds. I'm going to be planting a lot of these guys. Because I think, I'm not going to say end game, but for me, one of the things I gotta have is I've got to have a ship. I mean, it's called Ylands, not one island. There's an S on the end. Oh, and it would definitely work a lot better if I put stuff in there and lit it. Boom, there it goes. So the kiln should be done. So I've got the charcoal, the needle, and the paper. I should be able to make a map. There we go. There's blank paper sheet and a writing tool. It doesn't say anything about the charcoal, but I'm almost 100% sure that you need it. And the other option is a blank leather sheet, which I don't remember off the top of my head how to make. Let's go ahead and drop that into our last slot and take a look at it. That's not very right, but okay. Anyway, so to keep that updating, it has to stay in your 0 slot, the last slot on your sheet. If it does not stay in the last slot, it does not continuously update. Palm tree seeds. So I think what I want to do is I want to go ahead and plant my palm trees. Don't remember. There we go. There's where my tall rainforest tree seed sapling seeds went. And I'll tell you why I did the tall ones and not the other ones. And I think it's because they do more wood. I haven't checked, but I'm pretty certain that the tall trees produce more wood. And I'm going to go over the general 10 that I like to do because I've only got 15 of those. And the tree will fall whatever direction the ground is sloping. So here they're going to fall that way toward the ocean, which stinks, but it could be worse. Just clearing up the space for when it does eventually fall down. I am so stinking tired of these seashells. There we go. And it's probably about time to feed some fires. There we go. Nice and full. Nice and full. Is there anything else I need to cook? Nothing else I need to cook. I'm good on that. Take all my iron. Can't craft anymore because I don't have any more. I need to go get copper and see what goes on with that. I want to put my new axe, new pick, my saw, and we've already got the nails, which is nice. But I can go ahead and get rid of this one, the stone pick, because I have a better pick now. I'm just going to dismantle it because it does still have some good stuff in there that I need to use later. Do still need the hammer, don't still need the axe. And I probably need a new knife soon. So, gonna... Oh, I was gonna show you how to build the best storage in the game so far. Beams, planks. There we go. Wooden cabinet, this one with the doors, best one out there. Definitely, if you're gonna build some storage, build this one. Don't know where I want to put it. I may just put them in a line down the middle here. Getting it perfectly lined up is not easy. See there? Moved straight in one direction and it did not. Okay, we have some storage. Let's go back into the inventory. Don't need to carry those around all day. Let's see, what else do I not need to carry around all day? Oyster meat. Probably don't need the oyster meat at all. Don't need to have the clay on me at all times. I'm going to go stack that as best I can. I'm done with the charcoal. Don't know what to do with the bamboo shoot. Bark's not super useful. Aloe vera leaf. I know that has a function. Don't know what it is. Don't need it on me. Echinacea. That was a mistake. Roasted mushroom. I could eat that in a pinch. Let's go ahead and reorganize just a little bit so that I know exactly how much space I've got. How is a brand new unused iron saw used? Oh, it's because I built... Okay. So when I was building the cabinets, that used it. So I could make the planks and stuff. And speaking of crafting things, something that will make your life so much easier, it takes plank and wooden pieces. It's a seed box. So you build your seed box and you start dropping seeds into there. It takes up a single inventory space, just one, and holds all of your seeds. So if I break down this cotton plant, drop the seeds in there, open the box, I've got two different kinds of seeds, still only took one spot in my inventory. So nice. Let's see, anything else that we really need to build? We could make the upgraded crossbow, we could make some armor, but I think right now our primary objective is lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of wood. And looking at my inventory here, I have plenty of space. So, chop down a couple of trees, and I think I'm going to call it an episode, because we've been going for quite some time. You guys aren't going to see it, but I ran all night. I was continuing to work on stuff, and it's going to be quite a long edit. Oh, don't break it. Yeah, sometimes you just have to pick everything up before you can break the stump. There we go. Because if you start hitting the wrong thing, you're going to have a bad time. So I'm going to go ahead and, before I go, pull up what the ship recipe is, so that you guys have some kind of clue as to what we're shooting for. And take a quick look at the base here that we've built up. And I want to say I'm proud of it. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here. Let's go look at the ship. So a large ship takes 100 planks, 150 nails, and 80 logs in one hammer. Now, that doesn't get you anything. That's just the body. That's just the hull. It doesn't give you the sail. It doesn't give you any kind of storage. That doesn't give you multiple levels. No, none of that stuff. All it gives you is the floaty bit. So we're going to have to build a mast. And I want the large mast, and it takes 10 cloth apiece. That is a ton of cotton that we have to get. So I think when we come back and we're going to be working with the cotton again, what we're going to do is we're going to break down all of the cotton that we get, and we're going to just replant it. And we may do that a third time just to make sure that we've got enough cloth to make a couple of these sails. And like I said, we want at least 2 of them. I want more than 1. 4 I think would be ideal, but I don't want to be the slowest thing out there in the ocean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a couple of them so I'm not behind. And we're also going to have the helm. Takes 10 logs, 10 nails, 10 rope, an axe, and a hammer. Not all that hard to do, but when you consider I want a multi-floor kind of thing, it's going to take a ton. Because these individual parts aren't all that bad, except for the large ship hull. But, I mean, when you consider the sheer amount of wood we're going to have to break down, that's one heck of a trip. We're going to deforest this island, which is why I have preemptively started planting trees. So every tree seed that I get is going to go into the ground, or at least the most efficient seeds are going to go into the ground. Like in the northern climates, the conifers. The tall conifers, they grow fast. They grow really fast. But the short conifers grow just as fast, but they don't give you anywhere near as much wood. So that's what I prioritize. I prioritize the tall conifers, and that'll get me going a bit quicker. But anyway, I think I've ranted along long enough, and I wanted to go ahead and thank you guys for tuning in and watching with and spending some time with me. I really hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you can see the next one when they come out. I know a lot of you have been asking, when do I upload? I upload every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Central. So when you get off of school, when you get off of work, it'll be sitting there ready for you as soon as you are. But anyway, I wanted to thank you again for joining me, and I will see you again in the next one.